welcome back to another Destiny 2 Trials Training video with your host Kenkukun, and we're going to talk about the tips for, I almost said anomaly, for Javelin 4 from Friday. Now, I played from Friday, I played like 12 hours of Trials on Friday. We're going to talk about some of the things that I can think of, and they're actually not a lot. There's nothing overly there's not too many things that are very specific to just the map itself. It's usually the general tips and rules that I give out. They're going to pertain to any map you play on, right? And if you can start picking up on those and really paying attention and utilizing these, tips and um tips and rules, so to speak, you might find yourself in more successful positions. So number one, we're going to break it down. We're going to break this map down like this. On this side of the map, you have a couple of options. You can push out the middle, the left, or the right, right? Now, if the flag spawns in the middle or the left, you're probably not going to push out the right door to go left. It just seems silly unless you're going all the way outside. And even then, most people are going to run up those stairs and then hang a right. So, with that said, if you move to the left, the first thing I want to say is this spawn and this map, and the spawn specifically, is where you go from the spawn, you and your teammates could decide how quickly you die, right? If all three of you come through this hallway, you guys could die as fast or as slow as a grenade could hit you, right? If the right grenade or right ability flies into this hallway as you get here, like someone throws, the perfect grenade or, a nice team shot, right? You're going to be clustered back here, and grenades can usually take you out. I never recommend people play this hallway first. I always recommend people coming out of the spawn through the middle, if the flag is here or at the back of rocket. They come out through the middle. Now, the dangerous part about that, which is this map isn't as unbalanced as last week. It's just it favors those that are quick, right? Those that can move fast. So if you stop here and you try to fight here, you're in a tough choke point. If a grenade comes hurtling at you, you're probably gonna run back into your spawn. Anyone else that pushed past this point and maybe through here, and give me one moment. No, sorry. They push maybe through here, right? Or they even push up here to maybe here or to the side of rocket. You've effectively taken yourself away from your teammates, and you've allowed for the enemy team to now have a 3v1 or a 3v2, depending on where your two teammates went, right? So standing here and getting grenaded, especially in round 1 or even round 2, where most everyone's going to have abilities, and think of threadlings. Threadlings are going to be all over the place, and they're going to be every single round, right? So, stopping here could be very dangerous, even if you're a sniper. I usually recommend people that if they're comfortable, they should come take over the rocket, and if they have a class that's mobile to do so. As you can see, I got strand on and I'm using grapples, and yeah, that's how I get out of my spawn really quickly, and I get to the middle now. So I can also play a couple other subclasses on this map if I want. It's not too big of a deal, but there are times where I will come to the middle and I'll be getting shot at. By the time I get to like this point, I have to cross a line of sight here. Maybe someone jumped up here. Maybe someone jumped up on the box here, and it's just, it's just good luck me, right? So finding a consistent play with your team and what they like to do is gonna be, it's gonna make a big difference in how well you guys perform. I would say try to find something that works for you, right? I'm not telling you not to spawn there and go through the hallway to B. I'm just saying find consistency that's going to work for you. However, keep in mind that the slower that you play on this map, and this is almost played like the state of play for this map is almost like a symmetrical map. Symmetrical maps, usually, you want to be the first ones to the middle. Why? Because the middle is where everything happens. It's where all the flags usually spawn. It's where the heavy usually goes. If you can take that over every single round against a team, you're going to have a higher success for win. for winning, because you don't have to fight your way into the objectives, right? Which would be the flags, the heavy, or anyone that gets killed, right? Um, you just defend the area, right? So be consistent with your play, find out what works for your team, and try to utilize it. Now, snipers. I'll probably talk about this every single weekend because every single weekend it happens, right? General rule for snipers. If you're sniping and you're missing your shots against an enemy team, right? Stop sniping. Pull out your primary, use it more. Take off the sniper, use something else. But probably stop sniping, right? Because you're either missing shots or the enemy's just never in your line of sight. So if you're always waiting to snipe someone and no one's ever really looking at you and someone else has died on your team, right? All you're doing is while you're looking for a snipe, the enemy's shuffling around looking for your team. Bam, shotgun. Bam, throwing knife. You know, like, and then you're the last one alive. Or they're just pushing ground and they're getting closer and you don't even know it. It's like, do, bam, fusion, right? And because you were sitting in your sniper scope and there was no call out, no indication, you just didn't know what was happening at the moment, right? And you just got caught unaware. So, once again, if you're sniping and you're, one, not landing the shots you're taking, or two, the shots are never presenting themselves in front of you, you probably need to pull out your primary and play that more, or take off the sniper and play something else against that team at least, right? Not necessarily every single game for the card, just that team is just not giving you what you're looking for, right? A sniper is only as good as the shots landed. Also, a sniper is only as good as the shots presented. If I never peek any snipe lane you're in, right? You can be the best sniper in the world, but I never give you the shot. You're just a guardian with a gun, right? And now, I've denied you your best weapon or your easiest weapon to kill with, right? So think about that. And on this map, there's no real snipe lane. It's wherever snipers wanna be, right? But let's say for sake of arguments, people that are sniping, some of them like to get there really quick or there when you're coming out of the spawn. Some will try and hop like this and look for you from the other side. Wish enders and bows and stuff like that. I've seen my fair share already this weekend where they just like hop, shoot, So be careful with that. Outside, we'll take a talk. We'll take a look at some of the snipe angles. Already right there at that box, right? You get to this point. The line of scrimmage, guys, it's an invisible line, just like football, right? Where it's the earliest point of contact you can come to with an enemy, right? So let's say I come outside, the line of scrimmage is usually right about here, the staircase. I'm either getting to the staircase and enemies are going to peek me from there, right? So this is the first earliest point of engagement, and it's the safest. If I really dictate the line of scrimmage as from, this staircase to this corner, right? And it just goes from this wall to the edge of the map. That's a big couple of feet, right? I could walk out here and get sniped from there, right? So someone could be on the boxes in the spawn. They could be on the staircase right here. A sniper doesn't have to move very far where they could just look for the snipes from here, right? So just keep that in mind, right? There's no dedicated snipe lane on this map. It's just wherever a sniper feels comfortable shooting you from, right? So gotta be careful. With that said, let's talk about the other side of the map. Now, again, I want to really talk about how important it is that you want to get better with your movement. If you find yourself getting to these places on this map slow and you're always fighting your way in, it's because you're just slow. You're on a slow character. If that means you need to change subclasses, you may need to, look into subclasses with more mobility or more mobility options. If that means your whole class is just the slowest one out of all three and you don't like that anymore, you need to change classes. It's time to come off of whatever class you're playing and play something else. And play something else, right? So, coming out of this side of the map, Sometimes you'll have people push from outside to inside, even if the flag is inside, they'll come outside and they'll push from the single. It's not a bad angle, you know, look for a couple of peeks, a couple of picks, right? Um, this spawn gives you a little more freedom because you're going to get up here and you're going to get to the open, right? I would say one of the key things that I've talked about before is this area right here, this angle, or even behind Rocket. It's probably the first place you're going to see people. If you just have two people look this way, when you notice an enemy either on the radar, someone can call out on the radar, someone's going to be, right? B flags there. Someone's going to be. Two people can turn, right? Or all three can turn and shoot, right? Keep that, you know, so keep that in mind. Some people are going to try and rush through. And you could catch them with a couple of body shots, right? Now, snipers, if you're team shooting with a sniper or a bow, and you miss your shot, you kind of just didn't team shoot, right? Like that's how I see snipers. I'm very strict on that, and I'm going to show you a clip here in a moment of something that I want to bring up as well. I'm very strict on team shooting. If you use a primary, chances are you're not going to miss your shot. If you use a sniper and you miss your shot, you shot in the same direction as your team, but you weren't team shooting because you chose to use a weapon that has, you know, you're not gonna shoot the bullets as fast as a primary, and you're probably gonna, you know, if you miss, you're probably not gonna get that second shot off on them, right? The bow is about the same way. You're gonna get one shot off, so if you miss, you've effectively not team shot, right? So just take it with a grain of salt, right? So snipers and bow users, beware. But you can usually get a nice team shot over this direction. Now, well, if your whole team is looking there, an enemy could be aggressive right here and just come up and, you know, start shooting and you won't even know it. So be careful. Slug shotguns, right? Know your range of your weapon. I talk about this quite a bit on my live stream on Twitch. Know the range of your weapon. I'm not going to sit with my fusion here. Well, I've done it, but I'm not always going to sit with my fusion right here because I could jump up and peek, and it's a slug shotgun waiting for me, like right here, anywhere, right? They could slide the box on me. They could slide around the corner and shotgun me, right? So, you know, two things about fusions. One, they take time to charge. Two, you want to give yourself enough distance to shoot, to charge whatever you're going to shoot, right? So, you know, if I can try and catch someone in the open, I will. But just keep in mind, if you're the slowest person in the lobby and you get to places last, your fusion is, you know, could get outplayed by shotguns just because they got there first and whatever you're looking for is already waiting for you. There's not really too much else I want to say about this map. Again, it's just like basic tips. I'll have more things to cover for our recap video. I do have this clip I want to go ahead and talk about real quick. Let's go ahead and pull it up. This is just something that I noticed. Where is it at? Where is it at? Right here, right here. So we had bubbles, right?
I'm gonna tether straight across so they can't shoot.
Let me mute it. Okay, so they have bubbles. On our team, we have a bubble, and on their team, they have a bubble, right? And I have a tether. So the first thing I do is I notice that the flag is in the top middle, right? One of two things that I don't want to happen. I don't want my teammate to get team shot. I don't want my teammate to get up on that point and get conditional finality. Now, it's going to be difficult no matter what we do, right? So I make a choice with my tether. It's like, do I put my tether close because I think they're going to play close, or do I send it far because I think they're going to play far? I choose to send my tether far. Mistake number one, I hop and I pop my tether, and there's that sniper waiting for me, right? So I could have died just as easily. So that happened. Number two, both of these bubbles popped at the same time. Now this enemy team was starting to make a comeback on us. So as you can see, the score is 4-3. So somehow this teammate died back here. They did not get to the bubble, and I'm not sure why. So I go ahead and get the revive. I tell my teammate, hey, I need you to live, don't die, right? And with that said, I jump back up into the bubble with no with no shotgun ammo. But I noticed that armor of light, it was at like 5 seconds when I got back to the bubble. I'm like, hey, let's be careful here. Let's back away because, you know, we don't want the bubble to drop. and then we don't have special ammo, at least me for sure, and we start getting shotgun to death, right? Now, also remember that the bubbles were popped at the same time. So I'm like, yo, back away, and the bubbles are gonna disappear. Just pull out your primary and shoot, right? So I'm like, yo, back away, pull out your primaries, and sure enough, weapons of light, bam, 1-2, 1-2. Right now, I don't know if our third was able to get some team shots in, but it's something that I noticed right there. Sometimes you're gonna have bubble confrontations on your team and the enemy team, and if you pay attention to who pops first, you have a chance of just outweighting the bubble, right? So that's all I really wanted to talk about. I liked the play there. I liked my awareness on that play, and the fact that I was able to discern that was very nice. I was able to guide my teammate into, the proper movements. That was their flawless game with they had lost Mercy, and we got the same blueberry that we lost Mercy with on our team. So, oh, it's like, oh, I don't want to lose this, bro. Not again, not because of him, right? So just a a small tip. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here, guys and gals. Thank you so much for watching. Again, this is just like straightforward tips for the map and things that you can put into practice on any map, really. Nothing too specific heavy for this map that I noticed yesterday. With that said, I'm out of here. Enjoy your night, evening, morning, whatever may be. Peace out, and I will see you in trials.